Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to VIBENATION. Today we're here to watch another video. I'm sorry that I haven't posted in a while. I just got a new job. It's taking quite a bit of time out of my day. So I'm gonna try to do a bunch of videos in one day. Take a whole day dedicated to making videos, and hopefully that will work out for me so I can post them along the period of the week. The new YouTube algorithm sucks, but whatever. So today we're gonna watch 12 horror stories animated. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is a compilation by Wan C Entertainment. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I'll leave the link in the description down below. You check it out. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let's check it out. I might break this up into 2 parts, possibly, maybe. And also I'm in the midst of trying to get Zycore on so we can do another collab on some savage comebacks. So let's go ahead and get this going. 3, 2, 1, and play.
Started last month. I was leaving school alone. It was a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary. As I was leaving, I saw a man in his 50s. He was wearing a black jacket and a pair of ugly old basketball shorts. He looked so gross. After a couple of minutes, I was finally home. I was listening to music the whole time, and I didn't realize that the man was following me. He was even holding a camera towards my bedroom window.
God damn.
I freaked out, but I still tried to stay calm.
Call the cops!
As I was locking the door, I checked the window and the man was still there holding his camera and smiling.
Call the
I told
cops!
my mom, so she called the police, but they didn't find anything. They even asked me to describe him to an artist so that they could have his face, but nothing. I wouldn't tell you this story if it didn't happen just last week. I was finishing a private guitar lesson at my teacher's house when something caught my eye. It was a picture of her and her husband. Then I realized that my stalker was her husband. I took my bag, made up an excuse, apologized, and left the house. She was shocked when she saw me running. Soon after, I opened my bag and almost passed out. There was an envelope full of my pictures. Pictures of me changing in my bedroom.
No, nah, son. Sorry. You're gonna have to go back in there. Tell Mary Sue that your husband's out here creeping on me. Don't care how you feel about it. It needs to stop now. I'm calling the cops. This is evidence. Can you explain to me why is that I found him outside my door?
I immediately called my mom, crying as I explained the situation. She called the police, and after a couple of minutes, they arrived. My mom did as well. They went into my teacher's house, asked her several questions about her husband, and asked about any strange activities. She stayed quiet. After searching the house, they found other pictures of multiple girls. After they caught him, they discovered that he had a bad history, which included rape and sexual assault. Now he is in prison, but I'm still afraid that someone like him will go a step further.
Bruh, I need to know whether or not the wife knew about this. The way that it looked like she knew about it a little bit. I mean, like, this had to have gotten on for years. With all that evidence they got against this dude, that must have been going on for years. My God, man.
I'm 30 years old, and this story took place when I was 13. My mother was a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs.
The narrator does not fit the character we're seeing right now. That has got to be... It's either this female is taking some serious hormone adjustment pills or testosterone, or we're just having the worst hoarse voice I've ever seen in my life.
She worked at a grocery store in the morning and a bar at night. So I was home alone a lot, but it was okay because I was used to it. I could cook myself some dinner and walk back and forth to school. I was a pretty responsible kid for my age. One night, I was watching TV while eating ice cream, and someone knocked at the front door. I was wondering who it could be, as my friends never came out this late and my mom would always use her key to get in. I opened the door.
Why?
And it was a man standing there with his hands in his pockets. I said, "Hello?" He replied, "Hello, young lady. Are your parents home?" Stupidly, I said, "No. My mom isn't home right now. You have to come back tomorrow." He then said with a surprised smile on his face, "Oh, you're all alone, huh?" I said, yeah, I am." He replied with,
Why would you give him that information? Why? What are you gonna do? Scare him away with your voice? Like, come on.
"Okay, young lady. Have a nice night. Don't get into any trouble." He then walked away and I closed the door. He seemed friendly.
Lock
but
the
also
door,
weird at the same
please.
time. He was a little funny looking though. He was
A
bald
little?
and had 70 styles glasses on, with a mustache and bags under his eyes like he never slept. About 10 minutes passed, and there was another knock at the door. I got up to answer it, but before I opened the door, something told me to put the chain on. I don't know why, but my gut told me to do that.
Follow it.
It was strange because we really didn't use the chain. But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I opened the door, it was pushed open, but abruptly stopped by the chain. Before I could even say or do anything, I looked through the crack of the door to see the same man again. And he said in a startled voice, Oh, hey there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay," as he stuttered. It was like he knew he failed getting inside the house and tried to play off any suspicion by speaking quickly and making it seem like he didn't just obviously try coming into the house.
Quick, use your man voice.
I said, "I'm fine, thanks," and I shut the door. At that time, I didn't really understand the situation or the dangers of what just happened. But still, I was a bit freaked out.
Call the cops,
I wanted
please.
my mom to come home soon. An hour went by, and I was still thinking about what happened, so I started to watch a movie, trying to keep my mind occupied, when I heard, "Hey, let me in quick. I gotta tell you something."
God.
This was the scariest situation
No.
I've ever been in.
Call the cops, please.
It was the man once
Call-
again. He was talking.
Oh, this is a very serious situation. But though, call the cops. What are you doing? The second interaction, I'd call the cops immediately. Some dude's out here stalking my house. I ain't gonna let this slide. This man could have killed me. Well, from this image, it looked like he could have killed you. But still, like, this is a serious situation. Hey, no, I'm fine, thanks. Go huddle up on the couch. No, call the cops. Let them be on the way. Maybe scare them off and let them know that you are not playing that crap. I censor my words. Feels weird. Even though I'm not getting monetized for anything, I find it very weird that I have to started censoring myself early in the game. I still have to think about that. Yeah, maybe.
Through the letterbox, I shouted, "Leave me alone." The letterbox closed. Then the man started banging on the front door, screaming, "Let me in, you little shit," while slamming the front door handle up and down, trying to get in. I just stood back crying, praying he doesn't get in.
Call the cops!
He eventually gave up and left. My mom came home about 30 minutes later, just to find me crying, and I told her everything that happened. We told the police, but they never found this guy. I looked back, And I think how grateful I am that I had the feeling to put the chain on the door. I hate to think what that man would have done if he had managed to get in.
I have a true story from when I was younger.
Now this fits
I was walking
perfectly.
home from school one day, I was in year 11, and saw something weird. I saw a face which seemed familiar to me, but I didn't know how. Later, I was sat in my room, and I must have fallen asleep. I had a strange dream where my grandmother, who had passed away before my birth, came to visit me in my room. We had a very pleasant conversation in which she said that she wanted to give me something. I had no idea what this thing was, but I must have agreed to take it. I don't remember exactly what happened next, but I knew it was morning by the way that my mother was calling me to get up for school. I did my normal morning routine, except I didn't put on my glasses, which was strange, as I need them to see. Anyhow, I went downstairs to the bathroom and then went into the living room. My mom was in the kitchen making breakfast. I sat in the living room waiting for her to be ready, and as she came in with my tea and cereal, she took one look at me and dropped everything. I thought it was because she had seen me without my glasses, but she wasn't really looking at my face. She was looking at my neck. Somehow, during the night, a small gold locket had been placed around it. I was told that the locket had been lost before I was born, and that no one knew where it had gone or what it contained. I never even had seen this locket before, but my mom knew of it as she'd seen pictures of my grandmother wearing it. So, little by little, everything started to fall to place. The person I had seen, or at least thought I saw, must have been a glimpse of my gran. To this day, I still have the locket. I tried to return it to my mom, but she said the locket wasn't given to her, and that it was given to me for safekeeping. I still have so many questions about it, like, why was it hidden all these years?
No, it's strange. Compared to Llama Arts is a fantastic animator, artist, and I love the stories. But for some reason, I'm slowly falling in love with this type of art style. It's not as, refined as Llama Arts, but it kind of has like that anime-ish type feeling to it. So I'm kind of happy I found these videos. It's actually very nice.
Or why was it given to me? But I keep it with me always, as a good luck charm.
Oh, it wasn't that scary.
This story just happened last year.
Again, he's back.
I work as a receptionist at a hotel.
This is fitting again. It should have been like that the first time.
We have a big hall and a stage. In order to get to the hall, you have to pass the reception desk. It was prom night.
I'm just saying though, like, can you imagine a little girl walk up to you and speaks to you in this voice? That would be the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed. Like, there is no way a girl of that age would have a voice of a man that probably smokes at least a pack a day. Maybe not even a pack a day, just like that very white voice. It just doesn't fit right.
It was already underway. All the students and teachers were in the dance hall. All the pictures had been taken, and the reception area was empty. At some point during the evening, someone approached the reception desk. I looked up to see a tall man standing there. He had a clean-shaven face, and his hair was greasy and tied back in a ponytail. He was also wearing a suit that was pretty old, and it was also dirty, along with some Adidas shoes.
Your usual scumbag, huh?
His eyes were wide open, and he said, "I'm here for the prom."
Porn!
At first, I thought he was kidding, but he looked dead serious. He accidentally said porn, then he said prom. I said, are you employed by the school? He said, no, I'm a student here. I still kept thinking he was joking. He looked to be in his late 40s, and he was telling me he was a high school student, So I asked him, how old are you?
Bruh.
He said, I'm 17. No, 16. Yeah, 16. At this point, I thought he was on drugs or something.
Full of it.
I said, I'm sorry, but you don't look 16 at all. He just stared
You
at
think?
me, not saying a word, with his eyes wide, staring right at me. He then leaned over to me and said, I'll make you a deal. I have a big blade in my pocket. If I'm not 16, you can cut my finger off. If I am 16, I can cut your finger off.
What? Wait, hold up a minute. What makes you think that this exchange would make me want to let you in anyway? I don't want to see you cut your finger off, and I darn sure know I'm not going to let you cut mine. So you either leave, or have my size 12 so far up your butt you'll be testing my feet for a week.
I didn't get the chance to say anything because he walked out right after he said that.
And what was
I
the
told
point?
my boss about what happened. He said to let him know if he comes back and he'll deal with it. I finished my shift around 12, and I went to get in my car. There was an envelope under my windshield wiper. Written on it was, "A deal is a deal." I opened the envelope to see a human finger. And I had a feeling that this wasn't his own finger due to it being another color. I never saw that man again, and I always wondered why he was trying to get into that prom.
One day I was showering. My sister came into the bathroom and said, "Don't open the curtains." She said that her friend was going to use the bathroom because she couldn't hold it any longer. I said, "Okay." I knew someone was there because I heard noises. Then I heard the door close, so I came out of the bathroom. I asked my sister which one of her friends came, and she answered, "No one came over. What are you talking about?" I got chills and I started to freak out. About 2 months later, I was sleeping in my parents' room with my mom and dad.
Why?
Because I was scared to sleep alone in my own room. I woke up in the middle of the night. I sat down on the bed and then I saw something truly horrifying. I saw a lady in all white standing near the bedroom door, just watching me. I screamed and my parents woke up. They asked me what happened and I pointed at the lady that scared me. They asked me what I was talking about because there was no one there.
The fuck? What? What? Like, what? Oh my god. Time to get a new house, people. Please. Please. Give me a new house. I need, the deacon needs to come and bless this place. What the heck? People having deja vu, women in white along the walls. Come on.
I pointed toward its direction and said that there's a lady right there. My dad got up to turn on the lights. He walked right through the lady. As soon as he turned on the lights, the lady disappeared. We moved about 3 months later. When we were unpacking, I saw a picture of a lady. She looked familiar. When I remembered where I saw her, I got chills. It was the lady I saw when I woke up in the middle of the night. I asked my dad who was the lady in the picture. He told me she was my grandma. He also told me she died when he was 23 years old. My dad was now at the age of 41 when he told me. I got really scared after that. Now when I wake up in the middle of the night, I try my best to go straight back to sleep.
As you should. Like, if I see a ghost, well, nighty night. And ain't need no extra stress going back to sleep. So yeah, grandma don't need to tell me now go back to sleep, sonny boy. You must wake up for school in the morning. No, you don't need I don't need no help. You don't need to tell me twice. I don't need to look at you. Please, just continue to stand there doing nothing. go back to sleep and I'll be a good boy.
It was April of 2007,
Ah,
and
yes.
my birthday was
Promotion.
approaching. Most of my family had already told me the gifts I would receive.
Why?
The new Wii, along with video games for it. My grandmother didn't tell me anything. Now, my grandmother...
Why would you tell him? That makes no sense. If you're gonna, listen, if you're gonna go ahead and plan something, it's better that you don't know, because then that just leaves that doesn't make sense.
There had always been a strange woman. She wasn't very talkative, but I liked to hear the stories she told. They were creepy, but intriguing. She told me she was going to give me a book. She didn't show it to me, nor did she tell me what it was about. Once my birthday rolled around, I was opening gifts from my loved ones. When I got to my grandmother's present, I opened it up and I saw a book with a pentagram carved into its front cover.
Oh,
I picked it up and
God.
thought nothing of it, because at the time, I didn't know what the shape was or what it meant. As soon as I grabbed it, though, everything went pitch black. When I woke up, my family was surrounding me, and my mom was scolding my grandmother about giving me the book. My grandmother looked at me, but her eyes were evil-looking. That night, when I went to bed, I was having a pretty good dream. But suddenly, something woke me up. I looked around and saw nothing. Then, suddenly, I saw a shadowy figure in the doorway looking at me. This wasn't a case of sleep paralysis because I was able to move, but that didn't comfort me because that meant it was real life.
Yeah.
The figure crept closer and closer to me. When I looked closer at the figure, I saw gray hair and crooked teeth. That's when I knew it was my grandmother.
Run, boy, she's got a knife.
I screamed and ran past her, but she grabbed me and tossed me back. I noticed she had something in her hand, but I couldn't tell what it was. I saw one of my toys that I had gotten a few years ago, picked it up and threw it at her. She fell to the ground and I ran past her, telling my parents. My parents called the police and they got there and arrested her. The thing she had in her hand was a knife.
I knew it!
And she was planning on killing me.
She's planning on sacrificing you to the devil.
To this day, I wonder what would have happened if that toy wasn't lying there.
She was going to sacrifice you, my boy. Woman is in witchcraft. That is what it is. By God, the Lord, the power of Christ compels you. What? Ye shall not prevail. like what the, bruh?
People call
Who starts? Oh my God, this guy in the deep voice. My God, like who kid?
me Yaya. This happened to me when I was a young girl, maybe 7 or 8. It was a Saturday afternoon and my mother and I were at a mall shopping. We went from store to store, mostly for me. I was the spoiled kid. We went into a coat store, and I was pretty bored, so I would constantly walk away from my mother to play and stuff, as I did in every other store. My mother would always call my name, and I'd go running to her. This time, I was playing in a round coat rack. My mother called my name, and I ran out. I ran right into this older man. Then he grabbed me. He grabbed me by my wrist and asked me why I was running. I told him because I have to get to my mom. He then told me he could take me to her, but I said no, and he let go. It was weird because I saw this man in almost every store he went to, but he never had any bags. After that store, I had to use the bathroom really bad, so I went while my mother went to the food court. I sat down to use it for maybe a minute when someone else came in. The person walked right up to my stall. At this point, I was just looking at the person's shoes. They were men's shoes. I was confused of why a man would be in here. Before I could look up, the man said, "Hey, Yaya, everything okay in there?
What the?
I'll come in if you want me to."
Am I the only person that finds that people asking to do nefarious things is a new trend nowadays in the Predator Chronicles. Not Mr. GG. Like, for real, like, not too long ago, I literally just read a story about a gentleman in Florida, Florida man, you know, never dies, is asked a mother or a parent in whatever capacity that if they could have a very unbecoming relationship with an 8-year-old boy. Asked politely, even so. Like, why? Like as if that asking makes it 10 times better. It's just why?
It was the man from the stores. I looked up, and I could see his eyes peeking through the crack of the door. He then started shaking the stall. I began to scream. I've never been so afraid in my life. Then 2 women walked into the bathroom, and the man took off. These women took me to my mother and told the police. They found him due to the cameras. I don't know what his intentions were, but the police said he probably would have kidnapped me.
Nothing benign, I guess.
From that time on, I would never leave my parents' side while in public.
It was a good lesson. Quite the good lesson. So I think I'm gonna stop right here because this is getting around 15 minutes, and I believe that I have probably crossed over 30, probably. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Vibe Nation. I will be seeing you guys on the next one. I will see you